Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're really glad you're here today. You've given us some really fascinating sources on this philosopher who saw the universe in a totally different way. I mean, radically different for his time. And our mission, like always, is to dig into this material, pull out the key insights, and give you that shortcut to really understanding it. So let's set the stage. We're talking about Democritus of Abdera. Greek philosopher, lived, around 460 to 3500 BCE.
That's right. And you have to remember, he's living alongside these huge names, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle.
Giants.
Yeah, total giants.
Right.
But he wasn't looking at, ideal forms or the big metaphysical questions in the same way. Exactly. While they were focused up here, Democritus was looking down here at matter. What stuff is actually made of, which was, pretty groundbreaking then. And yeah, he's known for atomism, co-founding it, the idea of atomos, these tiny, uncuttable units. But honestly, the deeper thing, the really radical insight was seeing the universe as built on motion, not stillness. His whole thing was basically, everything's made of invisible motion bits swirling through the void. That's the core, sets him totally apart. And for today, we can kind of view this through a modern lens, we call it motion theory, this idea that reality is fundamentally dynamic, patterns of movement.
Invisible motion bits.
Swirling, okay, that's a powerful image. So let's unpack that. This revolutionary view of reality.
Yeah.
How did he and his teacher, Leucippus, actually picture it?
Right. So their idea was, simple on the surface, but incredibly deep underneath. They basically said reality boils down to two things. First, you've got atoms, these eternal, indivisible bits of being. And second, the void, infinite empty space for the atoms to move in. Okay, atoms and void, but not like little billiard balls. Well, not exactly like we think of things now. He pictured them more like, tiny loops of pure existence, always moving. That's the crucial part, constant motion. And these atoms, they were different shapes, sizes, speeds, and it was their movement bouncing around, crashing, hooking together that creates everything we actually see.
Which brings us to that amazing quote of his, right? By convention, sweet, bitter, hot, cold color, but in reality, atoms and the void. I mean, that just pulls the rug out from under our everyday experience.
It really does. What he's saying there is basically our senses taste, temperature, color. They aren't real properties of the things themselves. He saw sensation, substance, and stability as illusions. Illusions created by microscopic structured motion.
So the apple isn't really red?
In his view, no. The redness is how the atoms bouncing off the apple interact with the atoms in our eyes and brain. It's an interpretation. Using that motion theory idea again, it's like our internal motion system reading external sync patterns.
Okay. So if it's all just atoms zooming around randomly in the void, how did we get, anything? Like a rock or water or stars? How does structure emerge from that chaos?
Good question. He thought that when atoms collided, their specific shapes let them kind of interlock, like little hooks or puzzle pieces catching onto each other.
Okay, so temporary connections.
Exactly. Temporary unions forming bigger things.
Yeah.
Air, water, stone, stars, even thoughts, he believed. And the really radical part for his time, no gods pulling the strings, no divine plan, just random motion resolving into structured motion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like a philosophical Big Bang way back in 400 BCE. He's basically describing a motion-based structure formation, pattern emergence from chaos. He even touched on ideas like discrete information carriers forming systems. He glimpsed the basics of quantization, all without any modern science. It's pretty stunning.
It really is staggering. And he didn't just stop at rocks and stars, did he? He took this all the way to consciousness, the soul itself.
He absolutely did. This is where it gets really wild. Democritus believed the soul was made of atoms.
Made of atoms, like physical stuff.
Yes, specifically extremely fine spherical ones that moved quickly and freely. He actually said the soul consists of fire-like atoms. He wasn't talking about some mystical spirit. He was describing consciousness as a physical system, a structured motion system made of super subtle, fast particles. If you translate that to modern terms, you could say, consciousness is a recursive motion loop optimized for real-time rhythm prediction and adaptation. He's kind of onto something, just like the tools, the math, the AI we have now.
Yeah.
But the core idea.
Okay, my mind is officially bent. A soul made of fast atoms. But then he went even bigger, didn't he? Not just our world, but
Other infinite worlds.
Yeah.
He believed the random swirling of atoms didn't just create our world, but infinite others.
Infinite? Seriously.
Seriously. He wrote, there are innumerable worlds of different sizes. In some, there is no sun and moon. In others, they are larger than in our world, and in others more numerous. And he said they grow, flourish, decay, just like ours.
That sounds remarkably like the multiverse idea we talk about today.
It really does. From a motion theory perspective, you could say each universe is a unique motion configuration. Reality is a cascade of rhythmic motion fields. The multiverse is just infinite structured motion resolutions. He called them worlds. We might call them motion frames. It's the same basic concept.
Amazing. So with all these incredibly deep, maybe even unsettling ideas, why was he known as the laughing philosopher? Seems like an odd fit.
It does seem odd at first, yeah. But he got that nickname because he genuinely emphasized cheerfulness and keeping a cosmic perspective. His view was, if you understand nature, if you really get that everything is just structured motion, always changing, always flowing, well, you have two options.
Panic or laugh.
Exactly. You either freak out about the constant change or you see the kind of cosmic dance of it all and you laugh. Democritus laughed. He had that famous line, "Happiness resides not in possessions and not in gold. Happiness dwells in the soul." For him, that peace came from understanding the motion, the flux. It's a very motion-aware philosophy.
Find peace in the dance. I like that. So bringing this all together, how relevant are these ancient ideas today, especially looking through this motion theory lens you mentioned?
Hugely relevant, I think. Motion theory helps us kind of translate his insights. So atoms become less like tiny balls and more like structured motion loops, dynamic patterns.
Okay.
The void isn't just emptiness, it's the motion itself, the dynamic medium where patterns resolve. Sensation is our internal motion system interpreting external sync patterns.
And the soul.
Recursive motion awareness. Consciousness is a process.
Yeah.
And those worlds are stable regions of resolved motion. Now, look, he didn't get everything right. He thought atoms were these hard, unchanging things.
Right, the billiard ball idea.
Yeah, but the core insight, that reality is built from invisible units of structured motion. That was spot on. And it took us, what, 2,000 years?
Yeah, until quantum mechanics, basically.
Exactly, quantum physics, information theory. They finally caught up to his fundamental idea.
Which raises the question, if he was so incredibly ahead of his time, why isn't he up there with Plato and Aristotle in terms of fame? Why isn't Democritus a household name?
Well, there's some ancient philosophical drama there. The story goes that Plato hated him, really disliked his ideas.
Hated him. Why?
Because Democritus threw out Plato's beloved perfect forms, eternal truths, even the gods as active agents. Democritus was all about motion and mechanism, a natural material universe running on its own laws.
Which didn't fly with the idealists.
Not at all. Plato apparently wanted Democritus's books burned. Thankfully, that didn't completely happen. But history kind of circled back, didn't it? Now, you look at quantum physics, biology, information theory, they all echo Democritus. Reality is quantized, rhythmic, emergent, motion-based.
He saw it all without the tools.
Didn't need him, just needed that deep curiosity about motion.
Incredible. So the final verdict. How do we sum up Democritus?
I'd call him the first motion coder. He just saw it. He saw that solidity is an illusion, that form emerges from process, that change isn't just happening to things, change is the engine. He broke reality down into motion bits, explained the universe with collision, configuration, and emergence, way, way before anyone else was ready for it. Motion theory would call him the first motion reductionist, the original bitstream philosopher, the one who laughed because he understood.
Wow, what a deep dive. That really shines a light on an ancient thinker who was grasping truths we're still wrestling with using cutting-edge science. Amazing insights from your sources.
And that's the power of doing this, isn't it? Taking complex stuff, breaking it down, and finding those clear, memorable insights. It gives you that real shortcut to understanding.
Absolutely. So here's something for you, the listener, to chew on. If everything from the chair you're sitting on to your own thoughts is fundamentally just structured motion, constantly flowing and changing, what does that really mean for the solid, stable world we think we live in? And what new possibilities might open up if we truly embrace that perspective?